What's up, guys? Thanks for checking out the channel, watching the video. Today we are doing a retro recipe. This comes from around the 1920s. History says it comes from a tavern. It's also called a tavern sandwich, but it comes from a tavern in Iowa. It is a loose meat sandwich. What in the world is that? Well, if you had to describe it, I would say it's kind of like a sloppy Joe without the sloppy. It's just a flavored ground beef on a sandwich. And we use a lot of the sauce. You'll see when I make this what I'm talking about. We use the sauce and it kind of wets the bread. And we eat it with a fork. But anyway, it's made on sweet Hawaiian bread. And they are delicious, guys. You may have heard this mentioned before on the original Roseanne show. Roseanne and Jackie, her sister, and the characters in the show, opened a diner called the Lanford Lunchbox. And they served loose meat sandwiches in that diner. But it actually predates that a long time into the 1920s. And it's evidently really popular in certain areas. Never heard of it a day in the world in South Louisiana or in the South. I haven't heard of it in the South and not in Tennessee either. But it is really delicious. It's worth making, and it's not that expensive, and it's not that hard to make. So here it comes, guys. This is loose meat sandwiches from the 1920s. Guys, if you are not subscribers, take a second, hit that subscribe button for me. It means the world to us. And if you got a second, drop me a line and say hi. We'd love to hear from you. Here it comes, guys. Loose meat sandwiches. All right, guys. The first thing we want to do is to put in 3 pounds of ground beef. So now this is 93.7 ground beef. We don't want a real fatty ground beef. You want to kind of splurge and get the butter because you don't want a lot of fat in this because you're not going to be able to drain this once we make it. So these are pretty good size. So into this skillet, we're going to put 2 cups of beef broth. We're going to put 2 cups of chicken broth. All right, so we want to take our little chopper thingy and cut up our beef. Go ahead and turn your the stove on because you want to get this to a boil. I'm gonna make this. I think of that lady on TikTok. I can't remember her name, but she's so cute because she's like, everyone's so creative. This is really a creative dish, but it's really good. And pretty cheap too. I mean, it's 3 pounds of ground beef, which ain't cheap, but it's not horrible. Okay, so you just want to break it up till all of the big chunks of the ground beef are broken up. You could certainly use water and bouillon if you wanted to, but that ups the sodium. And I would rather just go with the low sodium chicken broth and beef broth. All right, and that's what that's what it looks like. All right, to this we're going to put 1 large onion. I only had a medium, so I did an 1.5 onions. I'm just going to dump that in right there. And we're going to bring this to a boil. Okay, guys, this has been cooking for a while. The pink, we want the pink to go away. And it is pretty much gone. And you're going to look at the size of the meat chunks. It's really fine. All right, to this, we are going to add 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. We're going to add about 2 teaspoons of seasoning salt. Again, if you used bouillons, cut that down a little bit. About a teaspoon of black pepper. We're going to put 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. That's it. All right, so let's stir that up. Now we want to let this simmer. We want to cut the heat down, let it simmer until most of the liquid is gone and it's gotten thick. Smell it. It smells really good. All right, guys, the loose meat has cooked quite a bit. Cooked down. We're just going to let it continue to simmer and reduce. And if it's got a lot of grease, we may strain out some grease. Let's see. All right, guys, this has been cooking for about an hour. You can see how much it has reduced. Again, just let it continue to reduce. We don't want to cook it dry. We want to keep it wet, but we're just gonna let it cook for a little bit longer, and then we will make our sandwiches. So we have our meat that's cooked and hot. We want to scoop out some and drain a little bit of the juice out, but not a lot. You want to, because you want some of the juice kind of soak in, like almost like a French dip. That's what I like right there. Now you want to take a squirt of Dijon. Just like that. A hamburger dill, boom, and your loose meat sandwich is done. All right, guys, let's give it a taste. First I'll smell. It smells so good. You can smell that Worcestershire sauce in it. You could certainly use those little Hawaiian rolls, but you got to use Hawaiian rolls. See if I can do this without making a total mess. That Dijon is so on the spot with that. Delicious, guys. Don't know what to make? Make some loose meat. Let him try it. But he's barking at something for some reason. Being quick right. But anyway, guys, that's the recipe for the week. Loose meat sandwiches. Thanks for watching. If you're not subscribers, take a second, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and send me a note if you'd like to say something. We'd love to hear from you. You guys have a great week out there. Be safe, but most of all, take care of each other.